We are the 100% Hebrew Israelites. All praises and glory to Yahweh, Baha Shem, Yahushai, Baha Shem, Ha Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, spreading the good news of the gospel throughout the world. Salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing the word to the four corners of the earth, risking their lives to do so in sincerity. Reading from the book of Proverbs, chapter 30, verse 4. Who hath ascended up into heaven, or descended? Who hath gathered the wind in his fist? Who hath bound the waters in a garment? Who hath established all the ends of the earth? What is his name, and what is his son's name, if thou canst tell? Every word of Yahweh is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. Add thou not unto his words, lest he reprove thee, and thou be found a liar. Two things have I required of thee. Deny me them not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me, lest I be full and deny thee, and say, Who is the Lord Yahweh? Or lest I be poor and steal, and take the name of my power in vain. Moving on to Isaiah, the Old Testament, chapter 7. We'll start here on verse 14. And this reads, Therefore the Lord Yahweh himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. Butter and honey shall he eat, that he may know to refuse the evil and choose the good. Go to Isaiah chapter 9. We'll start at verse 1. Nevertheless, the dimness shall not be such as was in her vexation, when at the first he lightly afflicted the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, and afterward did more grievously afflict her by the way of the sea beyond Jordan, in Galilee of the nations. The people that walked in darkness have seen a great light. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them hath the light shine. Thou hast multiplied the nations, and not increased the joy. They joy before thee according to the joy in harvest, and as men rejoice when they divide the spoil. For thou hast broken the yoke of his burden, and the staff of his shoulders, the rod of his oppressors, as in the day of Midian. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty Power, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end, upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice, from henceforth even forever. The zeal of the Lord Yahweh of hosts will perform this. The Lord Yahweh sent a word unto Jacob, and it hath lighted up Israel. Going on to the book of Isaiah, chapter 9. let's see, no, Shalakia. Let's go on to, let's see. Up there. Okay. The Lord, this is Isaiah chapter 9, verse 8. The Lord Yahweh sent a word into Jacob, and it had lighted upon Israel, and all the people shall know, even Ephraim and the inhabitants of Samaria, that say in the pride and stoutness of heart, the bricks are fallen down, but we will build with hew stones. The sycamores are cut down, but we will change them into cedars. Going on to Isaiah chapter 11. Start at verse 1. And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots, and the Spirit of the Lord Yahweh shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Lord Yahweh, and shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Lord Yahweh, and he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithfulness the girdle of his reins. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them. And the cow and the bear shall feed, their young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. And the sucking child shall play on the hole of the asp, and the weaned child shall put his hand on the cockatrice den. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord Yahweh, as the water cover the sea. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord Yahweh shall set his hand against the second time to recover the remnants of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Pathros, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. Going on to the book of Shalakia, where we got to go to Isaiah chapter 11, verse 12. And he shall set up an ensign for the nation, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from four corners of the earth. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, And Judah shall not vex Ephraim. But they shall fly upon the shoulder of the Philistines toward the west, and they shall spoil them of the east together, and shall lay their hands upon Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon shall obey them. Book of Isaiah, chapter 28. We'll start here at verse 5. Start at verse 3. The crown of the pride, the drunkards of Ephraim shall be trodden under feet, and the glorious beauty which is on the head of the fat valley shall be a fading flower, and as the hasty fruit before the summer, which when he that looketh upon it seeth, while it is yet in his hand, he eateth it up. In that day shall the Lord Yahweh of hosts be for a crown of glory, and for a diadem of beauty unto the residue of his people, and for a spirit of judgment to him that sitteth in judgment, and for strength to them that turn the battle to the gate. Going on to Isaiah 28. Shalach. Isaiah 28, verse 7. But they also have erred through wine, and through strong drink are out of the way. The priests and the prophets have erred through strong drink. They are swallowed up of wine. They are out of the way through strong drink. They err in vision. They stumble in judgment. For all tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean. Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. For with the stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people. Going on to Isaiah chapter 28, let's start at verse 15. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at an agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. For we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. Therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh our power, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall make haste. Judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet, and the hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the waters shall overflow the hiding place. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by it. From the time that it goeth forth, it shall take you, for morning by morning shall it pass over, by day and by night, and it shall be a vexation only to understand the report. For the bed is shorter than that a man can stretch himself on it, and the covering narrower than that he can wrap himself in it. For the Lord Yahweh shall rise up as a mount rise up as in Mount Perazim. He shall be wroth as in the valley of Gibeon, that he may do his work, his strange work, and bring to pass his act, his strange act. Now therefore be ye not mockers, lest your bands be made strong. For I have heard from the Lord Yahweh of hosts a consumption even determined upon the whole earth. Give ye ear and hear my voice, hearken and hear my speech. Doth the plowman plow all day to sow? Doth he open and break the clods of his ground? When he hath made plain the face thereof, doth he not cast abroad the fishes, and scatter the cumin, and cast in the principal wheat, and the appointed barley, and the rye in their place? Shalakia. We're going on to Isaiah chapter 40. We'll start at verse 1. Comfort ye, my people, saith your power. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, and cry unto her that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is pardoned, for she hath received of the Lord Yahweh's hand double for all her sins. The voice of him that crieth in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of the Lord Yahweh, make straight in the desert a highway for our power. Every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain and hill shall be made low, and the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough places plain, and the glory of the Lord Yahweh shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together, for the mouth of the Lord Yahweh has spoken it. Going to Isaiah chapter 6. Shalakia. Not Isaiah chapter 63, verse 1. Verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with thy garments from Bozrah? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thy apparel, and thy garments like him that treaded in the wine fat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeem is come. And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore my own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. And I will tread down the people in my anger, and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth. Going on to the book of Haggai. Start at chapter 2, verse 7. Verse 6. And thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, yet once it is a little while, and I will shake the heavens, and the earth, and the sea, and the dry land, and I will shake all nations, and the desire of all nations shall come, and I will fill this house with glory, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. The silver is mine, and the gold is mine, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. The glory of this latter house shall be greater than of the former, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and in this place will I give peace, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. Going to Zechariah chapter 1, start at verse 12. And we're going to start, we'll start at verse 11. And they answered the angel of the Lord Yahweh that stood among the myrtle trees, and said, We have walked to and fro through the earth, and behold, all the earth sitteth still and is at rest. Oh, Shalakia, not going to Zechariah. Zechariah chapter 11. Okay, let's start at verse 11. And it was broken in that day, and so the poor of the flock that waited upon me knew that it was the word of the Lord Yahweh. And I said unto them, If ye think good, give me my price, and if not, forbear. So they weighed for my price 30 pieces of silver. And the Lord Yahweh said unto me, Cast it unto the potter, a goodly price that I was prized at of them. And I took the 30 pieces of silver and cast them to the potter in the house of the Lord Yahweh. Then I cut asunder my other staff, even bands, that I might break the brotherhood between Judah and Israel. And the Lord Yahweh said unto me, Take unto thee yet the instrument of a foolish shepherd. For lo, I will raise up a shepherd in the land which shall not visit those that be cut off, neither shall seek the young one, nor heal that is broken, nor feed that standeth still, but he that eat the flesh of the fat and tear their claws in pieces. Woe to the idle shepherd that leaveth the flock. The sword shall be upon his arm and upon his right eye. His arm shall be clean dried up, and his right eye shall be utterly darkened. Going on to Zechariah. This is Zechariah chapter 14. Start at verse 2. Shalakia. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the house rifled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall the Lord Yahweh go forth and fight against those nations as when he fought in the day of battle. Shalakia. Going on to the book of Zechariah, chapter um oh nope, we'll go read on. Zechariah chapter 14, continue on to verse 4. And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east, and the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof towards the east and toward the west, and there shall be a very great valley, and half of the mountain shall remove toward the north, and half of it toward the south. And ye shall flee to the valley of the mountains, for the valley of the mountains shall reach unto Azal. Yea, ye shall flee, like as ye fled from before the earthquake in the days of Uzziah king of Judah. And the Lord Yahweh my power shall come and all the saints with thee. And it shall come to pass in that day that the light shall not be clear nor dark. Onto the book of Zechariah. Let's start at chapter 12, starting at verse 9. And it reads, And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem, and I will pour upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and of supplication, and they shall look upon me whom they have pierced, and they shall mourn for him as one mourneth for his only son, and shall be in bitterness for him as one that is in bitterness for his firstborn. In that day shall there be a great mourning in Jerusalem, as the mourning of Hadadrimmon in the valley of Megiddon. And the land shall mourn every family apart, the family of the house of David apart, and their wives apart, the family of the house of Nathan apart, and their wives apart. Going to the book of Luke in the New Testament. I'm going to start at chapter 4. Here's verse 41, but start at verse 40. Shlachia. Now when the sun was setting, all they that had any sick with divers diseases brought them unto him, and he laid his hand on every one of them and healed them. And devils also came out of many, crying out and saying, Thou art Hamashiach, the son of Yahweh. And he, rebuking them, suffered them not to speak, for they knew that he was Hamashiach. Going to the book of John, chapter 7. We'll start at verse. Let's start at verse 24. This is Yahushua speaking. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. Then said some of them in Jerusalem, Is not this he whom they seek to kill? But lo, he speaketh boldly, and they say nothing unto him. Do the rulers know indeed that this is the very Hamashiach? Howbeit we know this man whence he is, but when Hamashiach cometh, no man knoweth whence he is. Then cried Yahushua in the temple as he taught, saying, Ye both know me, and ye know whence I am, and I am not come of myself, but he that sent me is true, whom ye know not. But I know him, for I am from him, and he has sent me. Then they sought to take him, but no man laid hands on him, because his hour was not yet come. Going to the book of John, same chapter, same book, chapter 20. Let's see, starting at verse 20. We'll start at verse 28. And Thomas answered and said unto him, My Lord, Yahweh Shai, and my power. Shlakia. And Thomas answered and said unto him, My Lord, Yahweh, and my power. Yahweh Shai said unto him, Thomas, because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed. Blessed are they that have not seen and yet have believed. and many other signs truly did Yahushua in the presence of his disciples, which are not written in this book. But these are written that ye might believe that Yahushua is the Hamashiach, the Son of Yahweh, and that believing ye might have life through his name. Going on to the book of Acts, chapter 2. Start at, let's start verse 28. Verse 27. Because thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, neither wilt thou suffer thy Holy One to see corruption, thou hast made known to me the ways of life, that thou shalt make me full of joy with thy countenance. Men and brethren, let me freely speak unto you of the patriarch David, that he is both dead and buried, and his sepulchre is with us unto this day. Therefore, being a prophet, and knowing that Yahweh had sworn with an oath to him that of the fruit of his loin, according to the flesh, he would raise up Hamashiach to sit on his throne. He, seeing this before, spake of the resurrection of Hamashiach, that his soul was not left in hell, neither his flesh did see corruption. This Yahweh Shai hath Yahweh raised up, whereof we all are witnesses. Therefore, being by the right hand of Yahweh exalted, and having received of the Father the promise of the Holy Spirit, he hath shed forth this, which ye now see and hear. For David is not ascended into the heavens, but he said himself, the Lord Yahweh said unto my Lord Yahushai, sit thou on my right hand, until I make thy foes thy footstools. Therefore let all the house of Israel know assuredly that Yahweh hath made that same Yahushai whom he have crucified both Lord Yahweh and Yahushai. Now when they heard this, they were pricked in their hearts, and said unto Peter and to the rest of the apostles, men and brethren, what shall we do? Going to the book of Galatians, chapter 3. Let's go to start at verse 5. He therefore that ministereth to you the Spirit, and worketh miracles among you, doeth he it by the works of the law, or by the hearing of faith? Even as Abraham believed Yahweh, and it was accounted to him for righteousness. Know ye therefore that they which are of faith, the same are the children of Abraham. And the scripture, foreseeing that Yahweh would justify the heathens through faith, preach before the gospel unto Abraham, saying, in thee shall all nations be blessed. So then they which be of faith are blessed with faithful Abraham. For as many as are of the works of the law are under the curse. For it is written, cursed is everyone that continueth not in all things which are written in the book of the law to do them. But that no man is justified by the law in the sight of Yahweh, it is evident, for the just shall live by faith. And the law is not of faith, but the man that doeth them shall live in them. Hamashiach hath redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us. For it is written, Cursed is everyone that hangeth on a tree, that the blessings of Abraham might come on the Gentiles through Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, that we might receive the promise of the Spirit through faith. Brethren, I speak after the manner of men, though it be but a man's covenant, yet if it be confirmed, no man disannulleth or addeth thereto. Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He saith not, and to seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Hamashiach. And this I say, that the covenant that was confirmed before of Yahweh in Hamashiach, the law, which was 430 years after, cannot disannul that it should make the promise of none effect. For if the inheritance be of the law, it is no more a promise, but Yahweh gave it to Abraham by promise. Wherefore then serveth the law? It was added because of transgression, till the seed should come to whom the promise was made, and it was ordained by angels in the hand of a mediator. Now a mediator is not a mediator of one, but Yahweh is one. Is the law then against the promises of Yahweh? Yahweh forbid, for if there had been a law given which could have given life, verily righteousness should have been by the law. But the scriptures hath concluded all under sin, that the promise by faith of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach might be given to them that believe. But before faith came, we were kept under the law, shut up unto the faith which should afterwards be revealed. Going on to the book of Revelations, chapter 1, starting at verse 4. Start at verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the word of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. John, to the 7 churches which are in Asia, grace be unto you and peace from him which is, and which was, and which is to come, and from the 7 spirits which are before his throne, and from Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, who is the faithful witness and the first begotten of the dead, and the prince of the kings of the earth, unto him that loved us and washed us from our sins in his own blood, and hath made us kings and priests unto Yahweh and his Father. To him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Con. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, Con, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, saith the Lord Yahweh, which is, and which was, and which is to come, the Almighty. I, John, who also am your brother and companion in tribulation and in the kingdom and patience of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, was in the isles that is called Patmos for the word of Yahweh and for the testimony of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. I was in the Spirit on the Lord Yahweh's day, and heard behind me a great voice as of a trumpet, saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. And what thou seest shall I write in a book, and send it unto the 7 churches which are in Asia, unto Ephesus, and unto Smyrna, and unto Pergamos, and unto Thyatira, and unto Sardis, and unto Philadelphia, and unto Laodicea. It's like, yeah. Going to the book Revelations, chapter 3. Okay, start at verse. Let's start at verse 16. I'll start at verse 14, Shalakia. And unto the angels of the church of Laodiceans write, these things saith the Amen, the faithful and true witness and beginning of the creation of Yahweh. I know thy works, that thou art neither cold nor hot. I would thou wert cold or hot. So then, because thou art lukewarm, and neither cold nor hot, I will spew thee out of my mouth. Because thou sayest, I am rich, and increase with goods, and have need of nothing, and knowest not that thou art wretched, and miserable, and poor, and blind, and naked. I counsel thee to buy of me like a gold, try it in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, in white raiment, that thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint thy eyes with eye salve, that thou mayest see. As many as I love, I rebuke and chasten. Be zealous, therefore, and repent. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, well, I will come into him, and will sup with him, and he with me. To him that overcometh will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame, and am set down with my Father in this throne. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. Revelations chapter 19. Let's start at verse 10. Shalakia. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, Thou see that do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doth judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of Yahweh. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he treaded the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty Yahweh. And he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, Come and gather yourself together unto the supper of the great power, that ye may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophets that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into the lake of fire burning with brimstone, and the remnants were slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, which sword proceeded out of his mouth, and all the fowls were filled with their flesh. Going on to the book of Revelations 22. We'll start at verse 11. He that is unjust, let him be. Let's start at verse 10. And he said unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. He which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according to his work shall be. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. For without are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. I, Yahweh Shai, have sent my angels to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David, and the bright and morning star. And the Spirit and the bride say, come. And let him that heareth say, come. And let him that is athirst come. And whosoever will, let him take the water of life freely. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, Yahweh shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. All praises and glory to Yahweh, Baha Shem, Yahweh Shai, Baha Shem, Ha Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, teaching this truth, the good news of the gospel throughout the earth. And salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing the word to the four corners of the earth. Shall endure to the end, brothers. Shalom.